So today I'm talking about a Dodge with the P0425 code, what it is and how you go about fixing it. So what is a Dodge P0425 code? Well, it's a catalyst temperature sensor circuit bank 1 sensor 1. And what does this mean? Well, basically the onboard computer is seeing a problem possibly with the catalytic converter because the sensor is telling it that it's running a little bit hot, and this could indicate a problem with the catalytic converter, but it could also be a sensor. And so the catalytic converter, as most know, is up and underneath the car, sometimes close to the engine also. They can vary on how they're located on the exhaust and stuff like that, but they're pretty straightforward devices with 2 bolts on each side holding in place. But the first thing to check with this code is going to be these oxygen sensors. There's going to be 2 oxygen sensors. You have upstream and you have a downstream sensor. And in older cars, they used to just test the oxygen in the air, but in newer ones, they also have like a heating element inside of it so they can detect heat, because when the catalytic converter is not running correctly, it'll heat up and put out more heat. So now they also have a heating element in it, and they can monitor more data. And so the O2 sensor is picking up that there's more heat coming out than there should be. And usually this has to do with the downstream sensor, but it can also be the upstream sensor since the onboard computer is looking at the difference between the two as to what the problem is. So it could be either sensor really, but usually it'll be the second one, it'll be the downstream one most commonly, but it could be the upstream also. And the sensors are low-cost devices. They just screw in and out on the exhaust. And one thing to keep in mind with these sensors is that the wiring, that they'll have a wiring harness, is be sure all this wiring is good going all the way back to the ECM, to the onboard computer, because if there is an issue with the wiring, there's an open or a short or anything like this, or this connection is not good, then it would be the same symptoms as a bad sensor. So be sure to check the wiring and check the sensor, or just go ahead and replace them. But that would be the first thing to check. And then it's also possible that the catalytic converter is having an issue and overheating. While it's usually going to be a sensor, it could be the catalytic converter has become clogged up or is just starting to finally wear down. One thing you can do if you have this problem is you can run some kind of cleaner through it. There's different types, like this CataClean. This is one type of cleaner, but there's different types. You basically take this cleaner, you put it in as a gas additive, you put it in the gas, and then you drive it on the freeway for 15, 20 miles. You blow out the catalytic converter real well, then you clear the code, and then hopefully it doesn't come back. And if none of that helps solve the problem, and you change out all the sensors, and you try to clean out the catalytic converter, then it is possible the catalytic converter has gone bad and simply needs to be replaced. So that is possible. But usually with this code, like I said, be sure to check these sensors, because that's going to be probably the most common problem with this code. Even though it could be other things, be sure to check these sensors and check the wiring. So that's basically it. I just wanted to give a real quick brief overview of what you could do if you had a Dodge with the P0425 code. If you have anything to add, please comment down below. If you have any questions, ask me and I'll try to answer them. If this video helps you, please click like, please click subscribe, and have a good day.